one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
The interesting thing about Joker is that you can take out all of the Batman references and it's pretty much the same movie. Although no one would probably want to see it because it would just be about some random guy with mental health problems who gets bullied and beaten a lot until he snaps. Wow, that sounds like a fun Friday night. Let's go watch that.
What's so funny?
It's just like a joke.
In order to understand this joke, and I will explain it, we need to understand the themes and what this movie is actually about. Hello, I'm Kevin Harris, and my goal is to help people better understand themselves by helping them understand the movies that resonate with them. Joker is not a funny movie, it is a sad movie. It is disturbingly uncomfortable and shockingly violent.
Everything in the movie is meant to be unsettling. And I think the thing I'm most proud about this film is that unsettling tone, that sort of slow ramp up into insanity.
I had no interest in seeing Joker. I had been a fan of the Christopher Nolan movies and was annoyed by how quickly they rebooted everything and introduced all these other Batman stories. So Joker was just another in a list of Batman movies that I was not interested in seeing. The first thing to understand about Joker is that it is all told from his point of view. And since he has mental health problems, we don't know what, if anything, is true or accurate.
I think the guy that did it is a hero.
Which we come to realize with his quote-unquote girlfriend.
3 less pricks in Gotham City. Only 1 million more to go.
The bad guy of the movie, the antagonist, is the city itself. Gotham City is going downhill.
Authorities are saying the city is under siege by scores of rats.
We constantly hear news reports and people talking about the rats and the garbage and how bad things are getting.
TV Studios live with Murray Franklin.
Robert De Niro's character, Murray Franklin, represents the media that is capitalizing off of the misery but doing nothing to improve the situation.
So everybody's heard about the super rats that are in Gotham now, right? Well, today, the mayor said he has a solution. You ready for this? Super cats.
And Thomas Wayne represents the upper class, the politicians and the government who are disconnected and separated from the problems of the people and doing nothing to improve the downward trajectory. Both of these men are potential father figures for Arthur, or at least he wishes they were.
We're joined by Thomas Wayne.
Happy look, Thomas Wayne's on TV.
And so does his mother, Penny. But the closest thing they have is the canned laughter and fictional caring of TV.
Like all Wayne employees, past and present. They're family.
He'll make a great mayor. Everybody says so.
Oh, yeah? Everybody who? Who do you talk to?
Everybody on the news.
The rats and the garbage seem to symbolize the growing meanness and callousness of the city.
Can you please stop bothering my kid?
Kindness, love, patience, forgiveness.
I wasn't bothering.
Just stop.
All the things that keep a community flowing and working together, the grease, so to speak, have dried up and everyone is on edge.
Is it just me? Or is it getting crazier out there?
Gotham is oppressive, miserable, and ready to lash out. And Arthur, of course, works as a clown and a comedian, trying to make people smile.
Don't you have to be funny to be a comedian?
Todd Phillips, the writer and director of Joker, who was previously known for his comedies, famously said that he can't make comedies anymore because of the woke culture and everyone being offended super easily. It's hard to argue with 30 million people on Twitter. You just can't do it, right? So you just go, I'm out, I'm out. And so instead of comedies, he has turned to a revenge fantasy about a guy who can't make people laugh and instead turns to violence. Seems a little bit autobiographical.
I got nothing left to lose. Nothing can hurt me anymore. My life is nothing but a comedy.
Tragedies and comedies are a form of storytelling that can be traced back to ancient Greek theater. And it meant more than whether a story was funny or not. Tragedies and comedies are story structures that we, the audience, know and expect, at least subconsciously.
There's a design at work in all art. Surely you know that. Events must play themselves out to an aesthetic, moral, and logical conclusion.
What's that in this case?
It never varies. We aim for the point where everyone who is marked for death dies.
I'm a pilot, you know, and someday I'm gonna fly away from this place.
Tragedies are shows about a good person who ultimately gives in and falls.
You were the chosen one!
Whereas a comedy was about someone who wasn't a hero, who tries and tries until the gods take pity on him and intervene, taking him up into heaven. They would actually lower the actor representing the gods down onto the stage using a pulley system called Deus Ex Machina, God from the machine. This theater convention is still seen in modern movies.
The Eagles are coming!
She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes.
Structurally, Joker is a tragedy, with a comedy ending tacked onto it.
I think I felt better when I was locked up in the hospital.
This makes sense because Arthur is telling the story, and from his point of view, it isn't a tragedy, but a victory. After standing up for himself for the first time in his life, using a gun that he shouldn't have been given, he loves the feeling of power he experiences. And this euphoria replaces his need for laughter and applause. Killing has become his new joke.
I thought my jokes were bad.
To Arthur, blood is a good thing. It is a key element to his humor, to his jokes. It puts a smile on his face, and it is the path to his warped sense of happiness.
I just hope my death makes more sense than my life.
And he begins killing off all the people who were mean to him.
You were the only one that was ever nice to me.
Which is almost everyone, including his mother, who didn't protect him as a child and included him in her delusions. The movie takes a note from previous films
Look at these scars.
and leaves some mystery around his origins. Even though this is an origin story, we are left wondering whether he was adopted or if that was a cover-up. To me, it makes the most sense that Arthur is really only connected to the Waynes
I know about the two of them.
through delusion and jealousy.
She told me everything.
There's nothing to know. There is no them.
To Arthur, who had nothing else to lose, killing himself on TV was going to be the ultimate punchline. But he changes his mind while sitting there on that couch and decides to tell a different joke and kills Murray Franklin instead. Murray was not Arthur's father, but the Murray Franklin show, Gotham's news media in general, were. And although Arthur made the ultimate choice, the news media gave birth to the Joker with their nonstop negativity and judgments, with their putting on a happy face, but inwardly harboring hatred and fear.
Here's a guy who thinks if you just keep laughing, it'll somehow make you funny. Check out this Joker.
They singled him out through public media, mocking him instead of helping him, and made him a symbol, even a star.
Well, no one's laughing now.
You can say that again, pal.
And unfortunately, his spiritual father, Murray Franklin, died in childbirth.
You should have listened to your mother.
Joker gets to go back to where he was happy, and he has one more joke to tell. And we cut to a shot of young Bruce Wayne, who eventually grows up to be Batman, because his next joke, his next punchline, is for him. When I finally did see this movie, I wasn't sure what to do with it, how to interpret it, so I didn't. I set it aside and forgot about it. Until recently, when 3 different people that I care about each confided in me some horrific trials and struggles that they were dealing with. And I felt myself becoming frustrated and angry on their behalf for them. I was mad that the world could be so cruel and heartless to these people that I cared about so much. And in this anger, in this darkness that I was in, I suddenly recognized the feeling that I was in. I recognized where I was. And I realized that I was in Gotham. And I didn't want to be in Gotham. I recognized the path that I was now on. Luckily, having seen this film, I realized that me listening to those three people who had had struggles, that I had already given them more than what Arthur Fleck received in this movie. He never had anyone that listened to him, really. No one that cared, anyway. And I determined that I will continue to listen to others, and to love, and to forgive, and to help however I can, because that is the grease that keeps the world turning. And that is the moral of this story.